Our guest on Prespectives today is Kathy Zappitello. She is the board chair of the Conneaut Foundation, which is a philanthropic group. And hello, Kathy.
Hi, thanks for having me.
First of all, I got to mention something that doesn't have anything to do with the topic today, and that's you're the executive director at the Conneaut Library, and you guys are putting together bicycles.
Yes, exactly. I don't have to tell you or our listeners like how great our community is. So,
right.
So many different groups came together to make this possible. We gave out 44 bikes to area children, along with helmets, and we had some great partners with that. And so the library staff actually put the bikes together, and this came about because we were putting together furniture from COVID relief funds. We had to get new workstations for different staff. I had to split up offices and so on and so forth. So we had such a good time doing that, and we were kind of good at it that, I'm like, hey, we can do this, and we'll say yes. So that's what we did.
Well, for somebody that bikes a few thousand miles every year, I know the benefits of it for kids and adults. I always get my grandkids out biking whenever I can. I get to the house and they look up and see me and they say, "Oh, I'll get my helmet." So
yeah, and what better way right now? Let's all get outside. That's the one thing we can do, right?
Right, yeah, and I try to do that all the time. So kudos for that. And you're also a woman of many hats. You are the chairperson, the 70s there of the Conneaut Foundation. Can you talk a little bit first about how it all came to be and where you get your money?
Where you get your money, girl? The foundation was actually formed back in, I believe, 1997. So back when our Brown Memorial Hospital merged with UH said, hey, most library systems, see, I don't know what hat I have on. Most hospital systems have a foundation to help, obviously with equipment and different needs that come up that go beyond the regular budget. We all know how this works, right? So, they encourage a local board to then be philanthropic to the community. The hospital was, those needs were being met, and so, when we have a healthy community, that everybody benefits from that. So the foundation was built as a way to give back, and so the hospital system bestowed us with $1 million, and since that day, we have had other revenue streams from time to time, donations and different ways that, and then of course interest. We invest.
Yeah, I was going to say interest must be pretty good there.
So yes, and so we've worked very hard over the years doing community grants to really try to elevate our community. And since UH was a very, they serve everyone, in a very large area from, West Springfield, into PA and all around. So, when we got into the habit of really looking at that really large area of Ashtabula County and beyond to help with different services. So we had nonprofits, we had our grant round every year, and we had applications, and we went through those things and really tried to make sure that those social needs were being met, and over the last several years, we had a big strategic planning meeting one year, and we said, we could still do that. We formed our, with the Ashtabula Foundation, our youth philanthropy groups.
Yes,
through our area
I'm familiar with
schools.
them, yeah.
Yeah, and they do a great job, and it's such a great learning experience for juniors and seniors. And so,
this is high school kids that are actually examining different possible places to donate, and then they decide where the money's going to best go. They do all the legwork.
They present that all to the board, and they're eloquent, and it's really fun to watch, and they're thorough, and they're smart, and it's a wonderful opportunity for them. So that, we are able to continue doing that, but it kind of freed up the board to now dream big. What more can we do to really help, elevate, number one, the health of our community, our quality of life, and really what that boils down to is stimulating economic development and trying to get away from, it's not tourism that's going to save any town. It's us. It's the people that live here. It's a quality of life for the people that live here, and that goes back to our overall health. You and I were chatting even before we started, right? So it's about our overall health, and that's mental, and that's physical, and that's where you live and what amenities are around you. And so we kind of pivoted, and now we're looking at stimulating economic development in the city of Conneaut.
So you and the Port Authority, we had George Peterson on 3 or 4 weeks ago.
Oh, yeah.
So from the Port Authority in the city of Conneaut, and you guys all chipped in to hire Insight Advisory.
Yes.
Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yes. So 2 years ago, we found our consultant. We decided, hey, who else can be some partners in this? So, of course, we went to the Port Authority in the city, and we said, hey, we've got this kooky idea. Like, what if we all came together and, there were so many conversations around that, certainly, and it's like minds, believe me. We found Insight. We hired them as a consultant for all 3 of those entities because by doing that, number one, we all chipped in to do it. And number 2, it created a way for all of us to work together with outside eyes that are helping guide us a little bit. Sometimes when you're in it, it's harder to see, right?
Right.
So having this professional team of people work alongside of us and take our ideas and streamline it through economic development, it's been a win-win situation for the city of Conneaut. So we're going into 2021 contracting with them again. Everybody has agreed to do that. It's going so well, and we're really excited. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they're professionals, and it was talk in Conneaut for years about getting somebody full-time to look at economic development. It can't be the city manager because he's got to worry about sewer backups and road repairs and everything else. Geneva, I know at one time they had an assistant city manager. That was her full-time job. They eliminated the position now, but Conneaut never had anything like that.
Exactly, and it is a professional organization, and it, like you said, I mean, it's several people working full time for us, right? There's a lot of moving parts, and when you start to do this and you get those plates spinning, balls can't be dropped. And when there's people like me with a heart of gold but super busy, I'm right. In the library, I've got other things, and guess what? When I look down my board table, it's me times, everybody else, right? Every single person is wearing the 3 hats on the 4 boards doing the stuff. So this is a way to get that congruency that we were always lacking.
So tell us some of your success stories with Insight.
Oh gosh, well there's been many, and I'm sure you have heard about all of there's a lot of grant writing going on behind the scenes, and so people may think this is a really, we're in a pandemic and it's scary times out there, but it's also, there's a lot of opportunity. Sure. And so we've been working behind the scenes to, stack some things so we can get in alignment to bust loose when all of this loosens up. Okay, so with that being said, specifically, the foundation, we purchased the Harbor Beverage building, and so we're looking to we're making some improvements, obviously.
Noticeable.
Roof just went on, yeah, and so we're going to be now looking at the exterior front, doing some work on the inside, and we will be meeting here at our organizational meeting. We're going to be working with Insight, because then it'll be time to start marketing that, and we're going to brainstorm on what are some good uses for that space, a good neighbor to that harbor area.
Do you have anything in mind yet?
No, right now we're trying to get it rehabbed, and that's our main focus right now. It's the building that needs a little bit of work. It's Great Bones, we know that. Right. Great Bones, and it's in a fantastic area. And
sure.
So, she needs polished up a little bit, and that's what we're doing. And once we get there, it'll be easier for us to be able to show it and have a better grasp on what, strategically what makes the most sense to be there as well. Do you know what I mean? There's a lot of activity, and we want to be very mindful.
You also have the other properties that you're...
Yes. So, we do have some lots that are also down in that area, and so there are some different maneuverings going on with that right now. One being the development of some additional parking, because whatever goes into that harbor beverage building, and if, of course, as that whole entire harbor area becomes developed, parking obviously will be.
That's something George Peterson talked about, is that they go down around the dock area and they don't find anything to park, so they go someplace else.
Exactly. But you know what? I think a lot of the parking, that monster, that's going to work itself out in time. Anybody that travels, you park the car and you walk through neighborhoods that have different stores and different developed areas and different towns, and it's kind of like, we want to make it walkable, but yes, we need a little bit of parking, and that's what we're working on.
Also, we have to mention that the city of Conneaut has received the largest grant the county has ever received, the largest on the Great Lakes too. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, I don't know. Number one, I want to talk for days about that. I mean,
we got 5 minutes, 4 minutes.
I know 4 minutes. I don't know if the average person realizes what an extraordinary accomplishment that is for the city. What an extraordinary accomplishment. And really, the money aside, which is fabulous.
Was it 18 million or something like that?
It's 19.5.
Okay.
19.5.
Let's get it straight.
But it's also the eyes. When you start receiving grants, you get noticed. There's activity going on, and that's what we need. We need fresh eyes that are looking at Conneaut now, right? So that is what's important is, oh my gosh, we're getting a little bit of notoriety on these Great Lakes, right? And that's exciting. So, so much is going to come. Everyone, if you haven't already moved to Conneaut, you best do it now. And I am not kidding when I say it, because it's not just the harbor area, but there's so many exciting projects. And that's what makes it hard for me to talk to you and some other folks sometimes. There's things I can talk about and there's things I can't, because some of this is proprietary, right? When you're trying to get a business up and running, you don't want to, I'm a librarian. I'm used to transparency and open book, but these are some situations where people need some privacy. They need some private coaching. We need to maneuver a little bit behind the scenes, in order to get the right things going on.
But there should be an announcement about a big industry coming in to the area.
Yes.
So that's already pretty much known.
Oh, wait, 2021 is going to be the year of announcements. For sure.
And you have the possibility of the hotel. That's still very much viable down at Conneaut Lakeview Park.
A development project to get off the ground during a pandemic when people are being told to stay home, that's hard to get a loan for,
Right.
That's hard to get.
And that's what Jim Hockaday, the city manager, he was on a while ago, and he said that like the hotel at Lakeview Park and out on at 7 and 90, that there just are not loans for that sort of thing right now.
Yeah, and there will be, and again, if we, and look at I-90 and 7. At least it's developed and ready, right? We're talking about getting that infrastructure in place. And so the harbor is the same way. There are certain things that we can kind of do to be prepared for things to break loose.
Which is not the way it used to be. It used to be, you want to go out on 7, well, there's no water, there's no sewer, there's no internet, there's no fuel, the pipeline there, all that stuff.
Yeah, right.
So it's all there now. So
and that's an incredible accomplishment right there. So yes. Oh gosh. I'm obviously
we got a minute. So
like I said, I could talk all day, but you know what? And also just talking with you and verbalizing some of the things that we have going on is actually making me feel better too. So
good therapy.
Yeah, it is. It's therapy. It's like, wait, no, there's good things going on.
Well, just riding my bike down through the harbor, you can see the saws, you can hear the hammering and all there on Park Avenue.
Oh, I know, and I walk through there, and you see, like you said, you hear all that, people listening to music as they're painting and walking in and out with, their equipment, and it's vibrancy, right?
Right.
Light attracts light. Light attracts light, and positivity attracts positivity, and growth attracts growth. There is room for everyone. There's room, so much room for businesses. And again, this is for us.
Right.
This is for us. This is for Ashtabula County.
Well,
this is for Conneaut.
Kathy Zappitello from the Conneaut Foundation. We are out of time, but we'll get you back on and we'll update on things. We got to make room for breakfast with the Beatles. Thank you.
Okay, that's important too.
Okay, thank you, Kathy Zappitello. I'm Bob Lebzelder on Prespectives.